This episode of Run It Back Philly is brought to you by the Pickett app. The Pickett app is an app that lets you link all of your sports betting accounts into one app so you can compare all of the best odds on any bet you want to make every single day. And you can track your success so you can see if your strategy might need to be switched up. All right? Don't get fooled out here, man. Go download the Pickett app. Use the link in my description. Promo code SICKOS, all right? Look, here's what I want to tell you guys, man. I've never been wrong. I just have never been wrong in the history of ever. I put out the video yesterday saying the signs are pointing towards Daryl Morey wanting LeBron James. And I know it sounds crazy, but what you guys aren't realizing or remembering or taking into account is that Daryl Morey is crazy. We're going to talk about that in a second, and we're going to talk about this Kyle Lowry stuff, all right? All right, just tell me what you think about this, bro, because just tell me what you think about this. Ramona Shelburne would not be surprised if Nick Nurse decides to start Kyle Lowry once he gets acclimated to the 76ers system. Ramona Shelburne just said today on just said this on NBA Today on ESPN. Basically said that Nick Nurse had a big hand in recruiting Kyle Lowry to the 76ers and that she would not be surprised if Nick Nurse decides to start Kyle Lowry once he gets acclimated to the 76ers system. Now, I know this sounds crazy as fuck off rip, right? Because you're looking at Kyle Lowry and him being towards the end of his career, and the past couple of years he hasn't been able to stay healthy, and he's not a starting level playoff performing point guard at this point in his career. But I just want to remind you that, and I love Nick Nurse so far, what he's done with the Sixers, but I want to remind you that coaches and player relationships sometimes can fog the vision moving forward. And Kyle Lowry and Nick Nurse won a championship together in Toronto. And Nick Nurse could feel like that if Kyle Lowry is healthy, he is still a starting level point guard. It also depends on what Nick Nurse thinks of Tyrese Maxey at this stage of his career as a team leading floor general type of point guard, right? And when we were talking about the Sixers and Malcolm Brogdon, we were considering, should they trade for Malcolm Brogdon and start him next to Tyrese Maxey to put Tyrese Maxey in more of a natural Allen Iverson style role, just go be that bucket who can also run a two-man game and play make, but not the full-time half-court creator or distributor. I'm just saying, I know Ramona Shelburne, she said it the right way this time. She didn't say it as a report. She was just giving an opinion. I agree with her opinion that I also would not be surprised if Nick Nurse decides to start Kyle Lowry. And I actually don't, the more that I think about it, the more it doesn't sound that crazy. It doesn't sound that crazy. Then you would have DeAnthony Melton and Buddy Hield coming off the bench. It doesn't sound that crazy, really. I know you saw this title and you said, what the fuck is Eastwood talking about? It doesn't sound that crazy. Give me your opinion on it. Let's move on. Now, I put out the video yesterday saying that I wouldn't be shocked if Daryl Morey has a plan to try to lure LeBron James to Philly. A lot of comments on that video said, congratulations on the clickbait. There was a lot of hate on that video saying that I just posted for clickbait. It worked because anything with LeBron James in the title is going to get clicks. But I was being serious because I think Daryl Morey is a maniac. And I need you guys to understand that. I'm not saying I want it to happen. I'm trying to predict what this dude might do. Okay? Now, Daryl Morey reportedly contacted the Phoenix Suns to inquire about the availability of Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker, and also reached out to the Lakers to check on LeBron James. This guy, I've said this a million times, I'll continue to say it. He's only ever known big names. He traded for James Harden. It's all he's done in his career. I'm not saying he can't turn this roster around. I'm not saying I don't like the Buddy Hield trade. But he traded for James Harden, and then he tried to stuff Chris Paul next to him. He tried to stuff Russell Westbrook next to him. None of it worked. We're sitting here at the trade deadline wondering why this guy didn't make some strategic moves to try to get DeJounte Murray, to try to get Andre Drummond, and the rumor came out that the Detroit Pistons legit had an offer on the table of Bogdanovich and Alec Burks for Tobias Harris. And we're wondering why he didn't pull the trigger. Why he didn't pull the trigger? Because he doesn't know who those guys are, bro. The Detroit Pistons were probably like, hey, listen, we're willing to unload Alec Burks and Bogdanovich for Tobias Harris. And Daryl was probably like, Tobias Harris, assassin scorer Tobias Harris, small forward that can defend 1 through 5 for those no names. Click. It's possible that's why Tobias Harris is still here after all of these years, because Daryl Morey might actually think Tobias Harris is a star player, and he won't let him go for anyone not named Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, or LeBron James. You know. Also, the rumors were out there that he overvalued the hell out of Ben Simmons when Ben Simmons wanted out of here. Remember, he was asking teams for 3 first-round picks and all of their young talent, and they were like, what? For a guy that won't shoot the ball? What are you smoking, bro? And he passed up on Tyrese Halliburton and Buddy Hield. Imagine a team right now. Bro, the Sixers right now, if this guy wasn't obsessed with big names. He was on the radio during that Tyrese Halliburton rumor, and he said, Sixers fans want me to trade Ben for a bunch of random NBA players. He said that with his own mouth. Imagine this Sixers team if this guy wasn't obsessed with big names, and he pulled off a Ben Simmons and a couple firsts for Tyrese Halliburton and Buddy Hield at the time. Tyrese and Buddy Hield, are you kidding me? Around Joel Embiid. But there's that. Give me your thoughts on that. And that was at the trade deadline, right? His obsession with big names and his plan to possibly try to lure LeBron James to Philly is not over. Oh, no. Just when you thought you were safe. The Sixers and Golden State Warriors are among potential suitors looking to convince LeBron James to leave Los Angeles this offseason. LeBron James remains focused on returning to the Lakers in the offseason, but undoubtedly there will be many of the same suitors, including Golden State and Philadelphia, looking to convince James otherwise. Here's what I'm saying. LeBron to Philly sounds insane. And a lot of people don't want it to happen because he's going to be 40 years old. All I'm saying is, it's becoming clear. If it wasn't clear already, it's becoming clear how obsessed Daryl Morey is with big names. Because if it could happen, if it's possible, Daryl Morey will try to make it happen. Look what he gave up for James Harden, who was clearly past his prime. I'm telling you guys, we might be in big trouble. Now, how do you get LeBron James? You draft Bronny James. Everybody kind of knows that. LeBron wants to play with his son. His son's probably not good enough to get drafted into the NBA. just off of basketball alone. LeBron will try to use his leverage to get his son into the NBA, probably because he believes in his son more than anybody else, but he probably also believes that he can help his son become an NBA player, playing with him on the same team more than anybody else believes that. The Lakers are going to draft Bronny James. That's all the Lakers got to do. They got to say, look, we know you want to live in LA. We know you like living in a mansion in LA and driving down to the arena. We know you don't want to live in Philadelphia. We know you like driving a Ferrari convertible down past the palm trees to work every day. We know you don't want to be driving through Camden, New Jersey. All the Lakers got to say is if that's what you want to stay here, we'll draft Bronny James. So I would predict that's what's going to happen. But it's just the fact that Daryl Morey is actually out there trying to make these types of moves. It makes me nervous. I'm glad he made the Buddy Hield trade. I'm glad he knows who Buddy Hield is. But it does make me nervous, man. It does make me nervous. There's a reason this team is top heavy. There's a reason Tobias Harris has been on this roster for 5 years. Does Daryl Morey actually know how to fill out a roster full of role players? I don't know. Give me your thoughts on that. Give me your thoughts on Kyle Lowry possibly starting for the Sixers. Oh, it's like I wake up and I'm like, what am I going to talk about today? And the Sixers are like, here, I have more ridiculous content to hand deliver to you, sir. Oh my God.